All right, friends. Oh my gosh. Colin is actually looking at his notes to figure things out. Good job. That's what we take them for. We take notes so we can figure it out. All right. In the real world, no one cares how you solve an equation. But in math class, you have to demonstrate all the skills. So one of the skills is completing a square. So what did you do first?
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2. You must get rid of that number. Okay? Then what did you do?
Then I moved the 6 over.
Beautiful. That is exactly what you need to do next. And then we are finally ready to actually complete the square. All right, so here we go. Half of 4 is 2, squared is 4. This right here is a perfect square. X plus 2. Now, if that's a plus, that's going to be a plus. If that's a minus, that's going to be a minus. Right? Equals 10. So x plus 2 equals, be careful, plus or minus root 10. And x equals negative 2 plus or minus root 10.
You said that the in the parentheses that number is always going to be the what you got from the division.
All right, good on that? You have to do that by yourselves, okay? Got it? All right, simplify. Now, the order that you do things doesn't matter. So when you look at this problem, it's your problem, you do whatever flips your switch. But ultimately, we all are going to come out with the same answer. So steps might look different, but the answer's going to be the same. Personally, I'm just going to tell you what I do. It isn't what you have to do. But personally, I clean this up first. I don't even worry about that until I get this fixed. All right, so 2 and 3, nothing happens with that. These are going to come down, right? Because that's what we do with negatives. There's 10 of them already down there. I'm bringing down 4 more, so I got 14 down there. I got 5 y's over 3 y's. I'm just going to start canceling, and I'm going to end up with
2 up top.
2 on top, I squared on the top. And now I'm ready, you may have already done it, I'm ready to deal with this. So the negative turns me over. And the 2 squares everything, including the 3 and the 2. So that's going to be 9 over 4, x 28, y 4. Did anybody get that when you were working on your own? Good. Good. Sometime between now and tomorrow's class, you might want to write that down on a piece of paper and do it again just to make sure you can do it yourself. If you want to. Number 3, write the equation in slope-intercept form of the line containing these 2 points. Alright, you've been doing this for years and years. You're not going to miss this. To write the equation of a line, period, any line, any form, anywhere, the first thing you got to have is the slope. So how do you find the slope? 10 minus 8 over 1 minus negative 3. Did you get 1/2? Now I'm going to pick a point. Again, you can do this however you want. I'm going to pick a point. I'll just use that one. Y minus 10 equals 1/2 x but it specifies, so there's that. So that means I didn't get y by itself. If I add 10 to negative 1/2, do I get 9.5? Remember, you will have a baby calculator tomorrow. So if you need help with that addition, it'll say 9.5. Or 19 halves, if you love this in the proper fraction. Alright, is that okay with everybody? Alright, now we need, I got 2 points. And I need to find AB. What does that mean? What does AB mean? Distance. And distance is that.
It's x
So 7 minus 5.
squared plus 2 meters.
Alright, everybody keeping up out there? How we find distance? Oh, 4 plus, we got lucky. Root 29, which does not break down. You don't press the square root button on the calculator and get a decimal, you just leave it as root 29. If it had come out to be root 28, then you would break that down. Anything you have 2 of comes out. Anything else stays in. Alright, now we need the midpoint. How do we find the midpoint? Average. Average, average, average. So 5 plus 7 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1, divided by 2 is negative 1/2. Again, no one is stressing about arithmetic. Alright, you shouldn't be stressing about arithmetic ever. But if you're one of those people, you're going to have a little calculator, so you can add and subtract on the calculator if you need to. Alright, now we have a scientific notation situation. So I'm going to multiply my numbers together. This is all multiply. That's a multiply. All multiply. So that's going to be 12 times 10 to the what? 4. If you need help with that, remember, this is 10 to the 11th over 10 to the 7th, because that's negative. So that would be 10 to the 4th. If you put that down, you're going to get partial credit, but if you want full credit, you have to recognize that's too big. When you're in scientific notation, this number can only have, it has to be 1 point something, it can't be 12. So I'm going to move that 1 place, make it 1 point, and since I made this smaller, that's going to have to get bigger in order to maintain the balance of the problem. What's the slope of a line perpendicular to 2x plus 5y equals 3? What do I need to do?
Get the y by itself.
Get y by itself. So, I don't really care about that. This is what I'm looking for, right? So the slope of that line is negative 2/5, which means the slope of the perpendicular will be 4/2. And what property do I see down there at the bottom? Oh, friends, what property do you see down there? The multiplicative inverse, or the inverse of multiplication. The inverse of multiplication. Let me check something real quick. I'm pretty sure I put some property practice in the canvas. Has anybody seen it? Does anyone ever know the canvas?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got some extra practice properties in there. So if you need to practice some properties, there's some in there. Already. All right. Now, on that other sheet of paper I gave you, we're going to do a few more review problems. Your quiz will be a combination of all of these review problems, okay? I mean, if we have, I don't know, 12 review problems, the quiz might have 8 on it, all right? It's not a quiz, it's not a big thing, but this is the pool of stuff you have to know how to do. So all the stuff we just did, and then I'm gonna lay a few more down. We're gonna solve that equation. Right here. So write that equation down on your paper, and we're gonna solve it. Who has a thought about how to do that? Be careful. I can't cross, cross multiply is good, but I can only cross multiply when I have a fraction equal to a fraction. A single fraction, it can be ugly, it can be, whatever you want to make it, but it has to be fraction equal fraction. That's when I cross multiply. This one has a minus in it. So this is not going to be a cross multiply problem.
Get common
Get a common denominator. I would get a common denominator because we know that once we get the common denominator, we can ditch the denominators, and then we have just a regular equation. So what will my common denominator be?
21.
So multiply this one by 7, this one by 3, and this one by 21. Everything has to have the common denominator. This fraction is over 1, so it needs the whole 21. So 7x plus 21, watch it, minus 6x minus 12 equals 63x.
Where's the, why is it minus 12?
Negative.
Oh, the
3
okay, negative.
distributed. All right, here we go. Looks like x plus 9 I got 9 over 62. Anybody else get that? Okay. Now, we're going to solve this equation. This equation has no numbers, it's all letters, but we're going to solve it for x. So we're going to do whatever we need to do to get x equals. Okay, so just think about that. What would you like to do first if you want to get x equals? Subtract by. So ax equals c minus by. What'd you say, Eli? Divided by a. So x equals c minus by divided by 8. Easy. No problem, that's not a problem. All right, just a couple more, 2 more. This one we're going to solve. So this one is really like the one we just did. The only difference is it has an inequality in it. Right? But that doesn't matter. We still are going to get a common denominator, which will be what? 24. So we'll times this one by 8, this one by 3, and this one by 24. That is the one we forget all the time. Don't forget it. Everything has to have the common denominator. 40 plus 8x. Michael? Minus 9x
Yeah.
plus 6. Do not take my word for it. How does that look?
I like it.
And of course, we're big kids now, so we're answering in intervals. You good to go? Got one more to do. Good? All right, one more review problem. Find x so that the slope of AB is 7/8. And point A is x8, and point B is 3/14. So there's a line out there, AB. I already know that the slope of it is 7/8, and I just need to figure out what that coordinate is. So what is your thought about that?
Set it up like you're going to find slope.
Set it up like you're gonna find the slope. So that would be 8 minus 14 over x minus 3. So that will be -6 over x minus 3.
And set it equals 7/8.
And that has to equal 7/8. Now, Alden, or whoever said that, I think it was you. Take a look at what I got here. I have fraction equals fraction. So now, if you want to cross multiply, you can. So -48 equals 7x minus 21. I don't know why my arithmetic's so shaky today. -27 over 4, or 7, I mean, 7. -27 over 7. Is that good? Okay, so you have my word. The quiz you get tomorrow is gonna have problems like we have discussed just now. Okay, got it? So you'll be as well as you want to do. Okay, let's put that away then. That'll be tomorrow. We're gonna finish up P5. We have one more problem to do. We'll finish up P5. So that homework will be due on Friday. P5. P6 is really easy. It's gonna go fast, but let's finish P5 first. Okay, all right. This is a circle. This is fourth. How do you know it's a circle? Well, you know how when you see something like y equals 7x plus 2, you know that's a line, because lines are y equals mx plus b. You just know that, that's the form of a line. Circles are x squared plus y squared, okay? And then whatever else is in there. X squared plus y squared is going to be a circle. Circles have a center and a radius, obviously, and you can tell that if your equation is written in the right form. This one is not. So, I want you to do what I'm doing. So notice, I grouped my x's together, just move things around, and left the space. And I grouped my y's together and left the space. And I put blanks in those empty spaces, because guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to complete the square. So I'm going to complete the square on the x part, and I'm going to complete the square on the y part. So we just talked about this. Completing the square is quiz skills tomorrow. How do you complete the square? Half of 8 divided by 2, 8 divided by 2 squared. So this is going to be a 16. Obviously, if I'm adding it to the left side, I've got to add it to the right. Do the same thing. 10 divided by 2 is 5 squared is 25. Now this is a perfect square. Okay? Morgan, you're staring at me like you're scared to death. Don't be scared, this isn't bad. Can you, Morgan, tell me what that perfect square is? It'll be an x. It'll be a minus 4c plus, what about this one? I'm going to do this one too. Y. Yes, ma'am. That's it. And then that equals all this stuff added up, which is 46. Now, once you have done this to your equation, where's our center?
-4.
Watch it.
Positive 4, negative 5.
Negative 5. And our radius is the square root of 46. So our center comes right out of here. Positive 4, negative 5. And our radius is the square root of this number. This number is r squared. Now, would you and your partner try B?
negative 2, negative 2? Oh, yeah, yeah. Hey, Mike. Type down, Mike. Quiet up front.
Center, -2, -3,
How's this look?
Amazing.
Now, we didn't talk about this one, that it makes sense for you to move that 10 to the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it out of there so you
Yeah.
can fill in your blanks.
That one was fun.
That was fun.
Um,
Alright, here we go. P6. So P5 due on Friday. P6, here we go. This tomorrow, P5 due on Friday. Here we go. This section is all about complex numbers. This is gonna be so easy, at least most of it is so easy. Don't let the notation confuse you. I named the numbers, and I named them, complex numbers are vectors, and I named them using kind of vector notation. So this one, the name of this is just Z sub 1. And the name of this is just Z sub 2. That's just the name, there's nothing tricky about it, okay? Now, first job is to add these two numbers together. So we want to add this and this together. So 3 plus 2i and 4 minus 5, I'm going to add those together. Don't make this hard, this is, what is it? It's so easy, what is it?
Adding my terms.
Adding my terms. So the answer is
7
7 minus 3i.
or 7 minus 3.
That is all there is to it. And then the next one says do exactly the same thing, only subtract them. Now, this one you do have to be a little bit careful about, because since you are subtracting the quantity, you have to do what you always do, you have to distribute the negative. So we're going to have 3 plus 2i minus 4 plus 5i. So that one will be -1 plus 7i. Don't make this hard. It isn't. It's exactly what you think it is. Combining like terms. Now, the next one says 3 times Z sub 1. Anybody in here in physics? That 3 is called scalar. You're just multiplying this vector, this number, by 3. So what do you think 3 Z sub 1 will be? 3 times Z sub 1 will be?
9 plus 6.
Yeah. Don't get all hung up. That's all there is to it. Now I'm going to multiply them. So my two numbers, the one I called Z sub 1 and the one I called Z sub 2, I'm now going to multiply them. Alright? So here we go. Isn't that easy? I'm going to do this. Well, I'm going to FOIL. So first, outside, inside, last. 3 times 4, 3 times negative 5i, 2i times 4, 2i times negative 5i. How's that work? Yep. Perfect. Do you remember, the rest of you, that I squared is -1? So this actually becomes positive 10, which can add to the 12 to give me 22. And then these guys can add to give me -7i. I squared is -1 because why? What's I? The square root of -1. So when you square that, guys. All right, one more. now we're gonna divide them. So what do you remember about 3 plus 2i over 4 minus 5i? What do you remember about that? Right?
We do have to do 4 plus 5i plus 5 top bottom.
Top, bingo, that's exactly what we do. Does anybody remember what we call 4 plus 5i? It has a name. The conjugate. And when you multiply by the conjugate, remember you only change the middle sign. So instead of 4 minus, it becomes 4 plus. And then what? Foiling all over the place, right? So distributing, I say foiling is really distributing, it's a form of distribution. So we're gonna foil. And then we got some of that stuff. So what's positive 10i squared? Negative 10. So 2 plus 23i. Negative 25i squared is positive. How's that look, everybody? Once in a while, it has to be, someone's gonna plan carefully, but once in a while, you'll do all that, and you'll get something that looks like this. They'll cancel, because in order to cancel, it would have to look like this, because you have to be able to cancel all 3 spots. Don't cancel here, because you can't cancel here. Alright? Don't get crazy. Alright, number 2. A. What is the square root of negative 16? 4i. Anytime you're taking the square root of a negative, you're going to pull that negative out as an I. And then the square root of 16 is 4. What's the square root of negative 25? 5i. So when I multiply these together, I get 20i squared, which is negative 20. And that is the order that you do things. You take care of your I first. So with that in mind, do B. I need you two to figure it out.
Take out the I first.
Does Mike know how to do it? No? Oh man, guys, okay, what's the square root of negative 3?
I3.
I root 3,
Yeah.
right? What's the square root of negative 15?
I root 15.
I root 15. So we have I squared root 45. Remember, you can multiply any radicals as long as they have the same index. In other words, as long as they're both square roots, you can multiply. You can't add these, because not only does that have to match this has to match if you're gonna add them. But if you're gonna multiply them, as long as they're both square roots, they're multiplyable. Alright, what's I squared? -1. And root 45, I think, breaks down
Yeah.
into 3 radical 5.
Yeah.
So your answer is negative 3 radical 5. All right. Colin, I'm trying to get you up here. Can you do A? 3A. And eventually, yeah. So you're gonna do it? All right, here it comes. He's been dying for a piece of candy. And I told him he didn't hit me candy until he got the problem on board. So here he goes. And
Go.
you bring up
Go.
so hit candy.
Go. Go. Boy,
And
crowd,
the
boy,
rest
crowd.
of you are going to be working on it on your own so that we can see if he's right. So why is your friend not up here?
Oh.
Can you move your seat?
Yes.
That should be negative.
Colin, you're ready.
Do you do the kanji yet, or do you do the
Colin, what you're doing is okay. Clean up your parentheses. Clean that up. It's so much
That's actually the reason why I just
She'll add your other two.
I'm really guard.
I feel like I should do that.
Yeah, you only get you get the I know. The need then.
How long do you take? How long do you take?
So you're literally just laying down.
You're facing, like, fix your desk. Look so free like that, your knees up. About this. No, yeah, that's way worse.
Perfect,
This is okay.
Yes.
This is okay. That's okay. Once the ankle bone is past
Yes, good work. Pass two. Good work.
Yeah, this is, it's,
All right, let's go. Back to it. Anybody have a question?
Of course, I'm a big
A
proponent of
little
this.
convoluted up here, but basically he multiplied these two together and got 4 plus 3i. And then he multiplied top and bottom by 5 minus 2i, pulled it all out, and got his answer. That is the answer we all got. All right, we need to get a couple more done.
Yeah.
Letter B. Do not be frightened. This is a foil. But there is a lot to keep track of in the foiling. So here we go. 1 times 3 is 3. That's easy. So first times first. How about outsides? Well, won't that just be 2i root 7?
Yeah.
Now on the inside, don't multiply these two together because that is not a radical and that is. So this will just be minus 3i root 3. 3 times I root 3. And then on the end, it's going to be negative. I have a 2 on B, 3B. I have a 2, I have an I squared, and I have a root 21. So I'm multiplying these two together, so I have 2 I squared root 21. Absolutely nothing combines. That last one turns into plus 2 root 21, but nothing there is addable because none of the radicals match. All right, one more. Letter C, foil, actually, let's use 2. I need these 2.
Yeah.
So we're gonna foil C. C is a foil. Get these 2 down, I'll stop, guys. I know you're starving. Number 1.
That's okay.
So we're gonna foil this. This letter C is not a conjugate problem. It is 2 plus 3i times 2 plus 3i. So we're gonna foil. Probably too fast, probably missed it, but that's what I got.
That's right.
That's right. Somebody says that's right.
That is indeed right.
what I got.
Anybody have a question about that one? All right, last one. Here we go. 2 plus I over 3i. You multiply top and bottom by something like 3i. Now, as it turns out, Erica, I can multiply over whatever I want. 3i is fine. Top and bottom by 3i. Here's the reason. You can't have an I in your denominator. As long as you multiply by another I of some kind, she chose 3i, aren't you going to have an I squared down there? And as soon as you have an I squared, you have a negative 9 and no more I. So she got 6i plus 3i squared on the top, which is 6i minus 3.
And then do the 2 negatives.
Everything is divisible by 3. So 2i minus 1 over negative 3.
Yep.
Don't cancel out negatives because you don't have one here. done. That's it. Now again, I would have just multiplied by plain I, but it's fine. If you multiply by 3i. All right, friends, let's go ahead and pack up. We are not getting out of our seats until we have prayer and
You're like,
What there for you is that you'll take your candle, go like this.
I like listening to it.
Listen. She's telling me to pick up your yearbooks at lunchtime in the library. All day? You don't stand up until the prayer is done and you're ready. So you can wait, everybody will leave. Don't forget to get your yearbooks during lunch. You're welcome, have a great day. Yep. Yes.